So, like last week, we begin National 2 in National 2 East, where late drama was the order of the day in round 17. Now, league leaders Tunbridge Judians weren't in action after their meeting with Guernsey Raiders was postponed. So it opened the door for one of their fellow title candidates to potentially close the gap. But in the case of third place Dorking, they weren't able to do so. Their promotion ambitions were dented at home to Henley Hawks after Max Titchener's late penalty clinched a 23-22 victory for the visitors. Now, Henley boss Luke Allen was full of praise for his side after this one, after they led 2012 at half-time. They saw that lead disappear when Henry Anscombe landed a penalty for Dorking and Tom House scooted over for a converted try on 74 minutes. But an excellent day from the team from Titchener was capped by a match-clinching penalty, but it is dented Dorking's promotion hopes because they now sit 7 points behind Tunbridge Judians, having played the same number of games. But in terms of second place Barnes, they continue to do all they can because the second place side stormed to their latest victory, a 41-19 win away at Worthing Raiders. They were 26-0 up at the break, and from then on in, it was pretty much job done for Jack Heel's side, who are now 1 point behind Tunbridge Judians, but they have played 2 more games than the table topper. So that is kind of a state of play at the top of National 2 East, which we'll come on to when we show you the table shortly. Just bringing it back to the late drama, and that happened towards the other end of the table, where 11th place Sevenoaks were at the epicentre of it, because fullback Ben Adams stepped up to the plate once again for Oaks as his last-minute penalty secured a 31-29 victory over 9th placed Old Albanian. Now, OAs thought they had won their third game in a row as they went over for a late converted score, but the trusty boot of Adams steered Sevenoaks to an important victory for the Kent outfit, and that result leaves them 12 points clear of the danger zone, with the two sides directly below them in Oxford Harlequins and Colchester, both claiming bonus points in round 17. Oxford Quins did so in a 55-28 loss against an informed Westcombe Park, while Colchester scored 6 tries in their 55-24 defeat in the East Anglian derby against Bury St Edmunds, which incidentally was watched by over 800 people at Raven Park. So a good crowd for that one, and a bonus point for Colchester. To the top of the table we go, and as you can see, Barnes have turned up the heat again on Tunbridge Judians, but the leaders do have 2 games in hand over them, as we mentioned before, and as you can see, Dorking and that stay third, but remain 7 points behind Tunbridge Judians, having played the same number of games, while Canterbury are very much part of the top 4 party after securing their 5th straight win in some style. They hammered 61-5 away from home, as the team who has scored the most points in the league this season showed their ruthless edge once again at Hucks Lane. A fabulous win for Canterbury, and they are one of the sides who are involved in the 4 fixtures taking place in National 2 East this weekend. And we'll start with Dorking, who have an opportunity to respond immediately at the big field when they take on Guernsey Raiders. Now, Guernsey have actually only played 14 games this season, so are now on course to play 10 consecutive matches between now and Easter. That is due to the postponements which have affected their fixtures over the last couple of months. So the Raiders will want to get some structure back to what has been a pretty positive campaign so far. Elsewhere, 5th place Westcombe Park goes to Henley Hawks following last week's success at Oxford Harlequins. Westcombe Park have won 5 games in a row with number 8 Benjamin Charnock. Excellent again for David Marshall's side. He scored a hat-trick last time out, but this week they travel to a Henley side full of confidence after their win over Dorking. Table toppers Tunbridge Judians return to action with a Kent derby against Sevenoaks. We actually featured Sevenoaks on the show when this game was originally scheduled in round 15, and the host actually go into this one after 4 wins from the last 6 matches, but the league leaders will be itching to light the fuse again on their title bid. And as we mentioned, Canterbury are firing on all cylinders at the moment, which is the last thing Worthing will want to hear going into the start of February, as the division's bottom club welcome them to West Sussex this weekend.